Hey everybody, you're watching We the Fandom, where we discuss comic books, pop culture, and the fandom experience. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more content. How's it going, everybody? Jacob here at We the Fandom, and today is actually kind of a sad video. You probably can't hear it in my voice because I'm not an emotional person, but it is indeed sad. Hashtag sad, because after nearly almost 2 decades, the prolific television show known as The Venture Bros seemingly comes to an end after 7 seasons. I would say 7 very successful seasons, but Adult Swim may disagree with me. This is a very prolific show, in my opinion, and it's funny because I don't think many people that I know even know this show exists, but I'll explain its importance. The show basically gives you a look at some of the older cartoons that people my age and younger probably didn't have as part of their childhood. Now, I did because I watched if you ever watched the Boomerang channel, these kinds of shows were on there. I'm talking about, the era that the shows came from included a lot of shows like Huckleberry Hound, Adamant, Magilla Gorilla, The Banana Splits. But more of the shows that I'm thinking about that this show pays homage to is like Space Ghost, Thundar the Barbarian, and Johnny Quest especially. Johnny Quest has huge influence on the show, as well as Scooby-Doo to a smaller extent. I know there's a lot of different versions of Scooby-Doo, but I'm talking about like the 60s and 70s version. But anyways, yeah, Johnny Quest had a huge influence on the show, and the show is for adults, so it doesn't have the same audience that those older cartoons had. And it doesn't have the same animation. I want to say it's not 2D, but it might be. I don't think about that too much when I watch the show. But anyways, yeah, the show has a lot of influences from those older cartoons, and it even has cameos from a few of the Johnny Quest characters, although it doesn't use their full names, or in some instances even their name at all, simply because I don't think Adult Swim had the rights to those characters, but it has like an adult Johnny Quest. So Johnny Quest is an adult, obviously referencing when he was they reference his younger years as a young boy adventurer, and one of the main characters, Dr. Venture, was also a boy adventurer. So they're basically putting this family, the Venture family, as having kind of taken place at the same the same time period as like the Johnny Quest show, and in a way that we just like, oh, we never saw this other family of like a scientist dad and a boy adventurer. But yeah, they have parodies and references to other characters. They have like a Batman-esque character who has Superman powers, and he's even voiced by Kevin Conroy, who is famously known as voicing the Batman in Batman the Animated Series, as well as Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. It has parodies of Marvel characters. Like there's a guy named Dr. Orpheus, who's a parody of Doctor Strange. Professor Impossible, who's a parody of Mr. Fantastic. They literally have the same powers, and their appearances are very similar. He even has a wife, a brother-in-law, and I guess friend, but he was more of a science experiment in the show that basically match the Invisible Woman thing and the Human Torch from the Fantastic Four. But anyways, let's get into this article by The Bleeding Fool. Venture Bros has been canceled at Adult Swim after 7 seasons. These are the main characters. Rusty Venture, his 2 sons, Hank and Dean, and their trusty bodyguard, Samson. Let's see. Creator Christopher McCulloch announced on Twitter on Monday. He said he and the writers have been in the middle of writing season 8 when they received the news a few months ago that the show would not be returning to air. This tweet from Jackson Public, who I believe works on the show. Unfortunately, it's true. Venture Bros has been canceled. We got the highly disappointing news a few months ago while we were writing what would have been season 8. We thank you, our amazing fans, for 17 years of your kind and patient attention. And as always, we love you. Sources told Variety that one possible avenue to continue the series would be moving it to HBO Max. That'd be awesome. I think the series, while it definitely has its place in Adult Swim, I actually think it would be better placed in HBO. That possibility is being discussed, but is still far from being a reality, sources say. The show is one of the longest running original series on Adult Swim, spanning 7 seasons over 17 years. The pilot episode aired on Adult Swim in 2003, and the first season premiered in 2004. Fans typically had to wait between 2 and 3 years between seasons, and the final one ended in 2018. Tweet from James Urbaniak. Probably mispronounced that. So, as a must to all, cancellation has come for the Venture Bros. The pilot aired 17 years ago, which means the show was almost old enough to vote. It's one of the great gifts of my life and career. The fans were quite simply the best. Thank you, everybody. Go Team Venture. And one of the sad things about it is it wasn't a planned cancellation, so they didn't have an actual end, which means if they don't find a new home for the series, there's ongoing stories within the series. It's not like Family Guy, where it's like each episode has its own like standalone story, and then you move on to something completely different on the next episode. This Venture Bros had ongoing themes, plot lines that they have yet to tie up. So it'll be very disappointing if they don't find a place to continue the Venture Bros show. The adult animated cartoon spoofed many superhero and pop culture tropes, which I mentioned, and the main characters were a riff on the Johnny Quest crew. The show followed the Venture family made up of incompetent teen brothers, Dean and Hank, their insecure scientist father, Rusty, their family bodyguard, Brock Sampson, and a colorful cast of supervillains like the Monarch, Dr. Girlfriend, Sergeant Hatred, and Phantom Limb. Saying the names out loud is pretty funny, and when you watch the show, it's good, because I usually don't care for comedies, but this is a good comedy while also having, like I said, it's heavily influenced by the old like 60s and 70s stories of like the Bory adventurer with like the scientist father. And like Johnny Quest, he had a father who was a scientist, and he'd go on adventures with their bodyguard Race Bannon. And I get a lot of people probably don't know that show or what I'm talking about, but this show did a very good job of bringing that era of cartoons back to the forefront for current generations. This is a tweet by Adult Swim themselves. We also want more Venture Bros and have been working with Jackson and Doc to find another way to continue the Venture Bros story. Well, then why was it canceled? They don't actually give a reason for why it was canceled. They just say it's canceled. And it's canceled by Adult Swim. I mean, why would they do that if they say, hey, we want this to continue? But whatever the reasoning is, whatever they decide to do, I just hope it finds a home. And I hope they're able to continue the story. One of the reasons I mentioned Scooby-Doo is, if you can't tell, Hank is the kid of the blonde hair. He's got what's that called? Some people just call it a handkerchief. Some people call it like an ascot or something, with a white shirt and pants. He's basically dressed like Fred from Scooby-Doo. But yeah. Sad news if you're a fan of the Venture Bros and if they don't find a new home. I think HBO Max would be a great place for the Venture Bros. I think AT&T owns HBO, and I think they have the money right now. Maybe not too long from now, so they got to buy it up while they can. But I think it would be. I mean, they have South Park on HBO right now. That's a big deal. They put Venture Bros right next to it, another continuing series that's lasted not as long as South Park, but pretty long. I think that'd be really cool. So yeah, it's the news for today. Technically, this news is a week old, but I'm only seeing it now. So if you're a fan of Venture Bros, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about it. But if you are new to We the Fandom, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like, and I will see you all next time.